Welcome back to L5 Star FC. It is a West Brom preview, and yes, the winner of the match, Alisson. Yes, you heard that right. It is Salah and Wakar. We're going to go over this one in what was a very significant game in our top four hopes, but also a history-making game in the fact that a goalkeeper scored for the first time in our club's existence. So that's a good start for you all to start off this reaction video. But before we start this video, please smash the like button and please smash the subscribe button. Only if you enjoy the content, but I'd recommend that you do because we post some banging content on Liverpool Football Club. Clock Talk TV as well. Drop a subscribe to that. That'd mean a lot. But more importantly, drop a subscribe to L5 Star FC. Salah, Wakar, how are you doing after what was a significant win at the Hawthorns? Salah, we'll go to you first.
I'm just laughing because I've just seen that video of you thinking celebrating when you're like typical Liverpool this. But I think
It's crazy, man.
We've been handed a lifeline here. Like a draw would have ended the European season. I think the only outcome that would have saved it was a loss. Spurs would have had to beat Leicester, but that's not going to happen. I think. But I think. Wow, what a game. I think we started off the game very slowly. I think centre-backs, you can see that something was just on with them. Either they weren't prepared for this kind of game against a proper big physical striker in Robinson Carnu. But you can see we weren't going from the off, and then Reece Williams, silly defending, he should know not to step out of his line. I thought West Brom capitalised, and then I think there was periods in the game that maybe for like 5 minutes we were good, but I think the game plan that we were trying to do was hoof ball, like send the ball over the top, and I don't think that was the right game plan, especially against West Brom when you're going to have a very physical and tall defenders. It just didn't work. But of course, falls to the right man, Mohamed Salah, and he's just been excellent for us this season, and he scores. And then I think after that, it was a pretty boring game. I think, again, we just played hoof ball. Every time it was a corner, we just hoofed it up until Alisson came, and then the rest is history.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. A lot to talk about in terms of VAR yet again. Also some stuff to talk about in terms of top four and how it's really given us a lifeline. But we'll go to you, Wakar. Your general thoughts on what was the significant day? Same question to Salah. How are you feeling after what was a pivotal win in our top four hopes?
If literally before Alisson came up, I gave up. I was like, we go again next season. And Alisson scores, Thiago, I never ever want to hear if he's a flop. He absolutely dominated that game. I think Mane should have scored. There were chances that we could have been put the game to bed before we even, but I'm happy that we got the 3 points. Maybe we could have won it. We could have made it easier for ourselves than wait for Alisson, But, Alisson, I hope his father's proud of him. And, we go again next week.
Yeah, I mean, Liverpool don't do the hard way, but good touch there about obviously Alisson and obviously dedicating his goal to his late father, which is a very touching moment, I'm sure, to us all. But we'll obviously break the game down. Obviously, Robson Carnu scored first, and you just thought, well, I thought it. I don't know about you guys, but you just thought this is just typical Liverpool in a sense. You beat a Man United team who are doing really well. Obviously, Fernandes, Rashford, Cavani, all having brilliant seasons. Sure, all of them, man. And then you're 1-0 down to a relegated West Brom, and you're thinking, right, as soon as we start to build a run, Sam Allardyce will just lob 10 men behind the ball and score that goal. So I think it was a bit disheartening. Obviously, but I think West Brom were getting so many easy chances with simple through ball over the top. Reece Williams didn't look like he could get to that. He couldn't really grab hold of that and grab the game by the scruff of the neck all day. So I think it was very difficult for him from the word go. But obviously, what were your thoughts how Robson Carnu scored? Carl, we'll go to you first. Obviously, it was like, oh, are you kidding me? After everything we've been through, starts to look a bit promising, and then it's on you, and you're just like, oh, here we go again. It's just on loop every few weeks. So, Wakar, how were you feeling when Robson Carnu scored early on?
I was like, fuck's sake, man, it's just gonna happen again. I was saying it as well. We're gonna go and beat Man United and go lose to West Brom. Even if we draw, it's a loss. But I was fuming. I think it's a typical young defender's error to go to the ball. But I mean, we got the 3 points in the end, so that's what really matters.
Yes, exactly, mate. I think you've hit the nail on the head. Obviously, we've got to strap in, get ready for a big ride here on in, because we obviously have Burnley, Sean Dyche, low block team. Pretty much is going to be copy and paste to the last time we faced them. Not many chances. We'll have to take them. But obviously, Salah, what about you? Obviously, how Robson-Kanu scored early on, a bit of a dent to really my optimism. But how are you feeling when obviously how Robson-Kanu scored from simple range, really?
I think it was a good finish by him, but I think, and again, that inexperienced defenders just caused that goal to go in, which shows that I think Ozan Kabak has been important to even at this stage of the season being in the top four race. I think we've definitely missed him. I think United we missed him in different parts. Of course, Reece Williams was fantastic, but get what I mean. And we certainly missed Ozan Kabak against West Brom, but I think as soon as that goal going, I was like, fuck, it's because it's Sam Allardyce. The guy knows how to organise his team and defend against high pressing teams and teams that like to attack. So he's an experienced manager, so he knows. But I think, in my mind, I was thinking just let a chance shot to Mohamed Salah and he'll score it. And rightly so, it happened, and then he goes back into the game. But I think at that time when he scored, I think it was very worrying, because and again, like Wakar said, a draw would have been a defeat.
Yeah, I mean that you've hit the nail on the head. I mean, when we're looking at draws here, this is not what we're looking for. We're always looking for the win now, and you're in that end of the season where it's not so much glamour, it's just dragging yourself over the finishing line. Sam Allardyce puts 10 men behind the ball, does what he always does, never really has took an interest in Liverpool. And you know what? In his post-match interviews, the salt coming from that man's mouth, I just wanted to put a tray of chips in front of the lad, because literally, I swear to God, the salt, honestly, it's like, mate, just lighten up a little bit, will you, man? Pretty much 90th minute, I'm going, oh, here we go. Corner comes, I'm going, Alisson's going up. I'm going, why is he going up? What's the chances West Brom are going to counter-attack, score, and we won't get 1 point instead of 0? So I thought, oh, here we go. Take every point which you can get. I know it's not going to mean much, but if it means Europa League and not European Conference League, I'd probably take it. But obviously, ball comes in, unmarked at the front stick. Your boy Alisson gets his head on it, past John Stone. What a finish. What a finish. Wakar, we'll go to you first on what was it was a striker's goal by Alisson. Unbelievable. In the last minute of play as well. The balls on him, the pressure. Mate, but what a moment.
It was just an absolute moment of brilliance. You talk about historic goals. That reminded me of a Divock Origi moment in the Barcelona comeback. It's got to be up there somewhere. Literally, I had a sore throat after the game. It's just a finish and a half. But we had the chances before to win the game. So we got the 3 points, but we had chances, but we just didn't take them. And we got lucky essentially. And next week we might not get lucky against Burnley. They might score, and against the other teams we have left, Crystal Palace. It's not. We need to start taking our chances, because I understand trying to have a few chances, but we should be hitting them on target. Mane a few chances. It's just it's a great goal by Alisson, but in my opinion, we should be taking the chances that we have before rather than leaving for a beautiful goal. But strikers finish. You take nothing away from the goal, but we should have just taken our chances in the first place.
It's crazy, man. I think when you look at the amount of chances these guys have in double figures, and you think if they were a little bit more clinical, where would we be in the league right now? If you put, I know it's all hypotheticals, all if buts and all that sort of stuff, but if you put it into context, if we took all of our chances or 90% of our chances clear cut, we would be in a different position in the league. We'd probably be, I reckon we'd be about second. I don't think we'd
Our
be
goal
matching
difference would
Man
be
City.
sky high.
Honestly, mate, we'd be winning games. We'd be winning games of football, and that's what we haven't done. But obviously, Salah, will go to you. What a moment for Alisson Ramsey Becker. What a finish as well. What was your reaction on that? And I was like, what am I watching you?
I think when he go for the corner, I think of course to go to the camera animation. In religion, I just do a quick prayer. I'm like, just let him score, just let anyone score, and then of course when I saw him glance for the head, I was like, what the fuck has just happened? I was just in shock. I was just like, because I thought Nat Phillips headed it in because Nat Phillips also
yeah. It was so like clattered each other.
So I thought it was Nat Phillips. So I was like, Nat Phillips. And then later on, I realized this. Alisson never got more excited because you don't see a goalkeeper scoring goals, especially from the corner box. He's the first ever goalkeeper to score a header and the first ever Liverpool goalkeeper to score a goal. But I think it's a special moment for him considering what he's been through this year. Lost his father, hasn't been the best this season, but if we go on to get top 4, this is going to be remembered as one of the best moments in our history. So I'm very proud for Alisson Becker.
Exactly. And if you look at it, right, if we, obviously Alisson Becker said in his interview as well, you've got to start the Champions League by obviously qualifying for the competition. Wouldn't it be mad if we look back a year's time, say we win the Champions League, now that's a big if, and we look back and we trace it back to that very moment. It could be a pivotal moment. Well, it already is a pivotal moment in history, but you've said it right there about Nat Phillips. You didn't know whether that, I mean, that would have been special as well if Nat Phillips had scored it, just the the absolute sheer jubilation. But obviously we'll get into player ratings and talk a little bit more about how big this win is for Liverpool. We'll start with the keeper. 10 out of 10. I mean, whenever is he going to score in a football match again? You gotta give him a 10 for me. But what are your ratings, Wakar?
10, same as you know. You're never going to see a goalkeeper score. You rarely see one. You know, it was a sublime finish. You know, Peter Crouch, he would be part of that one.
Yeah, man. What about you, Salah?
1,000 million. 10's not enough, Alisson. I think. Yeah, million, 10. I don't know.
Yes, we'll obviously go to the back 4. I'm going Trent. It's another sublime performance for me from him. How he's not going to get picked for this England team with these rumours. Obviously, we'll speak about that in a different video. But I reckon, based on his performance, I reckon he was an 8.5. Robertson, I reckon a 7. Set the tempo like he always does. Big influence on the team. Then you have Nat Phillips. Another solid game for him. 8 out of 10. Reece Williams, 6 out of 10. I feel like his experience is catching him out a little bit, and that simple ball over the top was exposing him every single time. But that's my back 4. We'll go to you, Salah, first. What are your back 4 player ratings?
9, I think it was exceptional. I think.
Yeah, exceptional.
With David Ornstein saying that, I don't think anything changed in the English squad. Guy Southgate, please go to a neurologist, whatever the fuck that's called. You see him against Manchester United. You see him against Manchester. You were physically there against Manchester United, and he put one of the best performances in his career. You were there when he scored the 93rd minute win against Aston Villa. I'm sure he was watching this West Brom game as well. He probably saw the highlights. He really needs brain surgery if he picks Trippier over Trent Alexander-Arnold. How can this guy be England manager? Forget about the Euros, honestly, because Trent Alexander-Arnold, he should be number 1 on that fullback list. He should be ahead of Kyle Walker and he should be ahead of Reece James. The fact that he's not even being considered for the squad is appalling. I just can't explain it. But Reece Williams will go 6, shaky. Phillips 7, decent. Robertson 8. I think again an underrated performance. He was good.
Yeah, I agree. And obviously the Trent point you alluded to there, I think it's also worth noting, why would he be going to the games if he's not keen on changing his mind? So you got to take that into account as well. Because why else would he be going there? He'd be going there to see if there's some standout performers which he can try and alter the team to make it better. But obviously we'll go to you, Wakar, again. It's slightly off topic. Back 4 ratings: Trent, Robbo, Nat Phillips and Reece Williams. What are you going for?
I'm going to give Robbo a 7, you know, set the tempo like every time. I think Reece Williams, you know, 7, you know, he was he does pretty well, but it's just the mistakes, the lack of experience. Nat Phillips, I want to see him next season at Liverpool. I'll give him a 9, and Trent 10 out of 10. And literally, I agree with Salah. Whatever he said, bang on the nails. Seriously, the man has the passing of Roberto Carlos, all right, but he can defend. He made an amazing diagonal run to block the shot. Otherwise, it would have been 2-0. And I would understand that he's not in the team because he's not the best at defending, but he has improved. But if you're going to start Wan-Bissaka, I would understand. But if he's not even in the squad, what are you smoking? Seriously, like the man is ridiculous. Literally, he can ping a ball. He can do everything what England needs. You've got Harry Kane. Harry Kane, he's dominant in the air. Seriously, I agree with Salomon. What's his problem? I said he's just going to ruin his international career. I mean, if he doesn't, I want England to win the Euros, obviously. But if he doesn't go, it's just we ain't gonna win nothing. Literally, we have the talent and everything to win this, but we ain't gonna win it.
We don't have the manager to win. That's the thing.
Exactly, we have the team, but not the manager. This man's gonna play Wan-Bissaka, who can't even cross the road, let alone cross the fucking ball.
He doesn't even pick He doesn't even.
What?
Listen. I know we're going off topic, but just deep this. He doesn't pick the best offensive right back in the league, and he also doesn't pick the best defensive right back in the league. Like, where's the logic? If you want defenders, pick Wan-Bissaka. If you want attacker, pick Trent. Don't pick Kyle Walker. You just pace merchant. Don't pick Reece James. You can just barge anyone. But anyways, I don't know. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, I get where you're coming from, mate. I wholeheartedly agree. But obviously, we go Curtis Jones, Fabinho, and Thiago. Thiago, 115 touches, absolutely phenomenal from him. I'm going to give him a 9.5 out of 10. Fabinho, slightly off, but I still 7 out of 10. I think is fair enough for him. And Curtis Jones, bought off, I think, in the second half. Not too great, but I'm going to give a 6.5. Carl, we'll start with you for the midfield three.
Fabinho, I've been hearing that it wasn't a foul, whatever. That's not our problem. We scored the goal, and that's all really matters. I'll give him a 7. Pretty. I mean, he wasn't the best, but he did his job. Thiago, he's just solid, man. 7. I mean, no, sorry, not 7. 10. Curtis Jones gets a 7. I think once again he's just taken too many touches on the ball, but he works for the badge, and that's what I wanted for a while. And yeah.
Salah, what about you?
No, I'm gonna go for Fabinho 7. I think again this wasn't one of his best games, but good enough to get him through. But I think Curtis Jones, I think these are the games I look for with Curtis Jones because he starts against these low block teams. He starts against Sheffield. He started against Sheffield, scored, but I just didn't see that he wasn't. What Curtis Jones does, dribble forward, trade create shot. I just didn't see that in Curtis Jones yesterday. But I think 6 came off his fury. So yeah, the Thiago, he's just amazing. Like, I don't even care what the United fan, the Chelsea fans say on Twitter because they're just deluded. If you think that Thiago Alcantara is born to get golden assist, then you're just deluded because he was brought in for specifically one thing, just to break down low block teams and just get chances or create chances and then for other players to assist. And he's been excellent at that. It's just a myth that he's been bad this season because he's been one of our standout players in the charts for top 4. So I think Thiago can get a 9.5. And yeah.
Yeah, 100%, mate, 100%. Obviously, we'll go to the front three, Mane, Salah, and Firmino. Now, Firmino, not as good, missed a big chance. Salah got the goal. Mane looks a little bit better in little areas of the game. Still a lot to improve from him, so I'm going to give Salah an 8 out of 10. Firmino a 6.5 out of 10. And Mane a 6 out of 10. Wakar, what are you saying for the front three?
Salah gets a 7, good goal. I mean, he missed a very good chance straight at Sam Johnson. I don't know why it's not going in the back of the net. And there was another one where Thiago just chipped it over the defence and Salah took a touch and just not another good shot. I think Firmino, he played quite well. You know, should have scored again. You know, 7. I think Mane, I'm gonna give him a 4. It's quite harsh, but he had a great chance. He didn't even put it on target. You know, I don't want to criticize Mane because I love him, but you know, he's just getting. You know, last season he was just ripping past players. I don't even think this season he's got past someone the way that he did last season. You know, I don't know what's. You know, he's having a shit season, but you know, it's just last season he was just. You know, I just every time he got on the ball, I just wanted him to give it to someone else because he just was not playing the best yesterday.
Yeah, I agree. What about you, Salah?
Mohamed Salah can get 9, I think. Mr. Reliable, Mr. Clutch. When we need him, he's there. You can see the passion. Garth Crooks, where are you? All the other pundits, where are you? Mo Salah only wants to score the boot. Mo Salah is greedy. Mo Salah is this. If he was greedy, he would have not scored. If he was greedy, this. Bro, the guy has the passion. If he has this passion, if we get Europa League, say so, he can go to PSG. He doesn't care. But he wants to play in the Champions League with Liverpool. You can see it in his face. He's so passionate. Especially when he scored, he was passionate. When West Brom's goal got disallowed, he was very happy. So if that's not enough for pundits, then I don't know what is. Firmino, I think I'm gonna go 6. I think he was average at most. But again, it's Sadio Mane, man. Like I've tried backing him so much now, especially on this channel. I've just tried backing because I'm like, boom is temporary, class is permanent. We know what I'm saying. A few compilations of Mane changes my mind, but I think he really, really needs to start stepping up because if he doesn't step up, I'm sure Klopp will even look at pre-season. And if we do get Champions League football, Klopp would definitely explore signing Sancho possibilities because if he keeps on performing like this, we're basically just playing with 10 men because we're going to keep losing the ball, just dribbling into opponents. It's poor. I think he had a few good chances to score, but unlucky, but I'm going to give him 5.
Right, and that wraps up our play ratings, obviously. 2 one-word questions for you. Obviously, big game tomorrow, Chelsea, Leicester. Who's winning? Wakar, 1 word. Who's winning?
Leicester.
Salah, what about you?
Leicester, I think Chelsea will fall apart from that defeat to Leicester, especially that defeat to Arsenal. I think Chelsea will have one thing on their mind is that Champions League final. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think a Leicester win suits us more because obviously if Chelsea win and we win, we go 11 on points with Leicester. Whereas if Leicester win, then we win our game, we go 2 points ahead. So I'd say Leicester win probably benefits us more. But the penultimate question, will we do it? Will we do top 4? Salah, we'll go to you first. Yes or no?
I've already made like a halal bet with my friend. You'll get £5 if we do make top 4. But I just don't know, man. This team doesn't fail to surprise me. It's as an Arsenal fan said, it's the hope that kills you. You saw it played against West Brom. Sean Dyche isn't going to make this any easier. So I'm hoping we do. Hopefully we do. Hopefully a win against Burnley would do it because I think Crystal Palace would win. But I'm very hopeful we can get that.
Yeah, what about you, Wakar?
I think we can do it. We have the players, and I want them to do it. You know, we've got to be in Champions League next season. You know, we've got to be playing in the big games. You know, it's Liverpool. We're known to be playing in the Champions League. You know, I don't want to be playing Europa League football because you know it's just unnecessary travel. Literally, we're playing teams you've never probably heard of. It's just you know, I want Champions League. I think they can do it, but you know, just like Salah said, it's just this season we've not been good enough against low blocks. You know, we've just you know we could beat a very good team and then play a low block side and just lose. So I want them to do it, and I think they can do it, but I'm just believing.
Yeah, I'm going to say yes, we will do it. And I think Leicester win tomorrow. And that is a wrap. Obviously, Burnley preview will come out tomorrow on the channel. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, Reds, turn the post notifications on. You know the score. If you like this video, and only if you did like this video, drop a like on the video. Leave your comments on the game that took place yesterday and that Alisson header. Obviously, much is appreciated, and we'll see you soon for a Burnley preview.